thank you so much for tuning in to Channel 35, City of Los Angeles. My name is Jenny J. I am here with Natalie and also Carla, who's on Zoom. We're going to be doing a gentle Vinyasa flow. All you need for today is your body, a mat, and if you have a block or a pillow or something at home to use, feel free to grab that now. This flow is really designed to help you de-stress from the week, really relax yourself and rejuvenate, and also stretch out those muscles. So we'll go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So let's bring those knees nice and wide on the mat. Big toes touch. And allow those hands to extend forward. Forehead rests on the mat. And all together, let's take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Nice big deep breath. And let something go. Come back to your normal breath. And just spend the next few moments to settle into your mat. Take a quick body scan all the way from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And notice if you're carrying any tension. Maybe in between your eyebrows, can you soften? Maybe soften your chest, your shoulders. Allow those hips to come closer to the mat. Really use the next few moments and the entire 30-minute flow to just reconnect to your breath. If you notice that any thoughts pass by, just notice them like clouds in the sky. You can become aware of them, observe them, but don't let them linger for too long. Always come back to that breath. And when you're ready, let's press into those palms. Let's come up to an all fours position. So you're gonna stack the shoulders on top of those wrists, hips right on top of those knees, and you wanna find a flat back position. So really think about pressing your belly button to the spine. Your eyes are looking in between those hands, and you're gently pressing those hands away from the mat to create almost like a small dome in your upper shoulders. Now again, we always want to engage our core throughout our practice, so we're gonna wake it up a little bit. We're gonna go into a bird dog. So you're gonna extend that right hand forward. You're gonna extend the left leg back behind you. Now, if you need an option, Carla is just extending her left leg back. This is a great opportunity to find your balance. Think about energy reaching through the fingers, energy reaching through the heel as if you're being pulled in two different directions. Now make sure that you're not collapsing into your left shoulder either, so really lift up and out. Take a nice deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Bring the hand and knee back down and reset. When you're ready, extend that left hand nice and long. Extend that right leg back behind you. And again, same exact cue. So really lift up and out of that right shoulder. Again, eyes are looking down. You want to lengthen that back of the neck. Energy reaching through the tips of your fingers all the way down to your heel. Take a nice deep breath here. And exhale, come back to your all fours position. Good. Let's go into a few sets of cat and cow, just warming up the spine. So on your next inhale, you're gonna arch the spine, eyes gaze forward, broaden out the collarbone, really arching the low back. And then on your exhale, you're gonna round the spine, chin to chest, pelvis tucks under, back of the heart lifts up to the sky. Again, inhale, finding your cow, really lengthening and finding space in your vertebrae. And on your exhale, round the spine, tuck it under. And feel free to keep doing this at your own breath. Vinyasa is all about breath to movement. So if you want to go faster, slower, or maybe even transform this, you can go into some circles, into some sways. Do whatever feels good for your body. No one's watching. You can close those eyes and just allow your body to move in all 6 different directions. Find all the 6 ways that your spine can move. And once you feel balanced, find a neutral position, and we're gonna step our feet back into a high plank. If you need an option, you're more than welcome to stay on your knees. Just make sure that your hips are down so that you can really activate that core. Now we're in our high plank, waking up that core. So really, again, press those hands away from the mat, creating a small upper dome in your shoulders. Your eyes are looking down towards the floor. You want to lift those kneecaps up, activate the quads, squeeze the butt cheeks together, and slightly tuck that pelvis under. So it's not just your stomach, it's not just your core, it's your entire body. Hold it here for a breath. And when you're ready, let's pike those hips up, downward facing dog. Now take a moment. You can feel free to pedal those heels right and left. Really just get a nice stretch in those calves, hamstrings. And then once you feel good, settle into your downward dog, and do me a favor, let's bend those knees, lift that tailbone a little bit higher up towards the sky, and then when you're ready, slowly allow those heels to melt towards the floor. Those biceps should be framing your ears, your head is relaxed, eyes are looking towards the feet. Just hang out here, take a few moments to just notice how your body feels. And when you're ready, eyes are gonna gaze forward. You're gonna slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Let's find a Ragdoll Pose. Now our feet are gonna be about shoulder distance apart. I want you to bend those knees so generously that your stomach is resting on your thighs. If you need an option and need to grab a block because you can't bring those hands down to the floor, you are more than welcome to place that block right in front of the body if you need a little bit of assistance. Now allow your weight to shift towards the balls of the feet. So it's almost as if you're gonna roll over into a somersault, but you catch yourself. Lift that tailbone up towards the sky. Bring those hands to opposite elbows if that feels good. And feel free to sway side to side. Rock your head yes, shake your head no. Do whatever feels good. Just allow gravity to find space in your vertebrae. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna slowly bring those hands back towards the floor. Now, one vertebrae at a time, we're gonna slowly lift up all the way up to a standing position. And once you make your way to the top, let's stack everything together. So crown of the head on top of the shoulders, shoulders on top of those hips, hips right on top of those knees. Allow those palms to face forward, have a soft bend in those knees, engage that core. We just woke it up, and open that chest. Stand tall, stand proud. Take a nice big inhale, hands rise. On your exhale, your right hand grazes down your thigh as your left hand comes up and over. Eyes gaze up towards the sky for a nice, easy side body stretch. Really think about lifting up and out of the rib cage. We want to avoid collapsing down, but rather lifting up. Inhale back up to center, and then exhale, left hand comes down the thigh, right hand lifts up towards the sky. Maybe eyes gaze up. And from here, inhale, both hands lift nice and high, Tadasana. And on your exhale, you're gonna field goal post the hands as you come into a baby back bend. Heart lifts up, elbows at 90 degrees, slightly push those hips forward. And on your inhale, hands rise. Exhale, fold it down, hands come to heart center, and then all the way down towards the floor. On your next inhale, find a half lift. Your hands can either come to your shins or the tops of the thighs. Now you want to pretend as if there's a string connected from the crown of your head all the way to the tailbone. So you want to create length, you want to create space, eyes are looking down, back of the neck is nice and long. And from here, hands plant down towards the mat. Let's step back in our high plank. We'll drop down to our knees, and then let's lower down, bring the chest 1 inch off the floor. From here, tuck the toes, drop the hips down. Let's inhale into a baby cobra. So shoulders are back and down, eyes are looking about 6 inches in front of the mat, little to no weight in those hands. Really think about retracting those shoulders. So you want to pinch those shoulder blades together. And then lower the chin down, tuck those toes, and let's come back up to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. From here, on your next inhale, eyes gaze forward. You can walk, step, or lightly jump to the front of your mat. On your inhale, let's find a half lift, lengthen the spine. On your exhale, hands come down, forward fold. On your inhale, hands rise, Utkatasana. And on your exhale, right hand grazes down the thigh, look up, side body stretch. Like an ocean wave, you're gonna just simply transition to the other side. Right hand lifts up. And then both hands rise. Mountain pose, inhale. Exhale, baby back bend. Heart lifts up. Inhale, back up. Hands rise. And exhale, fold it down. Drop it down to your forward fold. Inhale, find your half lift. Hands meet your shins or the thighs. Lengthen the spine. And on your exhale, hands come down. You can step or jump it back. Lower those knees down. Lower the chest down 1 inch. Tuck the toes, drop the hips, and lift the chest up, baby cobra. Lower that chin down, tuck those toes again, downward facing dog. We're gonna keep moving through that. This time, we're gonna add a small variation. So on your next inhale, eyes gaze forward, walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. On your inhale, find a half lift. On your exhale, fold it down. Inhale, hands rise, mountain pose. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Like a tidal wave, move over to the left. Inhale, hands rise, mountain. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, hands rise. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, come into your half lift. And exhale, plant the hands, walk or step it back. Now we'll move to a Chaturanga. So if you want a little bit more of intensity and dynamic flow, let's lower down to a Chaturanga to the bottom of a push-up. From here, you're gonna inhale to an upward facing dog. Tuck those toes, lift the thighs off the floor. Option, Carla is still in her cobra. From here, you're gonna pike those hips up, tuck those toes, downward facing dog. Let's create a little bit more heat in the body. So when you're ready, inhale, eyes gaze forward, walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, come into your half lift. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, come up to your mountain. Exhale, side body stretch. Inhale to center. Exhale, side body stretch the other way. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, hands rise. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant those hands, step or jump it back and move through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale to your upward facing dog and exhale, downward facing dog. Moving into our second flow. When you're ready, eyes gaze forward, walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. On your inhale, you're gonna find a half lift. And on your exhale, hands come down, bend those knees super deeply, and then let's come up to our chair pose, Utkatasana. So take a quick moment to take a look at your knees and your toes, okay? You wanna make sure that you can see all 10 toes here, and you wanna be framing your face. So take a look. Natalie is doing this beautifully. Her knees are right behind the toes slightly. She's bending deeply into her legs and her heart is lifted. Her shoulders are back and down. So try to relax your upper body. Now from here, we're gonna go into an airplane arms. So we're gonna reach those arms back behind us. Focus on bringing those hands back behind you as you open up the chest. Inhale those hands back up to your chair pose. And then exhale, fold it down, straighten those legs, drop the hands back to the floor. Inhale back up to your half lift. And on your exhale, plant the hands, step or jump it back. And let's move through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhaling to your upward facing dog and exhale, downward facing dog. From here, let's lift our right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Let's open up the hip here. Try to keep both shoulders square to the floor and let's bend the knee. Let's take a few hip circles, maybe clockwise, counterclockwise, just lubricating the joints. And from here, let's extend that leg back, three-legged dog. Drive the knee into the chest and plant the foot in between those hands. Let's ground down the back heel and we're gonna open up to our warrior one. So our warrior one, let's make sure that our pelvis stays square towards the front of the mat. So you almost want to kind of shift your right hip back and shift your left hip forward. Your foot, the back foot is angled about 45 degrees. We have a deep bend in our front knee. And again, reaching those hands nice and high, shoulders are away from those ears. Hold it, soften your gaze, and take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. From here, inhale. On your exhale, let's bring those hands back down towards the floor. Step the right foot back and move through your Chaturanga to upward facing dog. Now, if these vinyasas are too much for you, you can always just go into your downward dog. On your next inhale, left leg rises high to the sky. Open up the hip and let's bend that knee. Let's take those hip circles forward or clockwise rather, and counterclockwise. This should feel really good. And then when you're ready, let's extend that left leg, three-legged dog. Drive that knee into the chest. Gently place that foot in between those hands, and let's come up to our warrior one. So again, grounding down that back heel. Now, warrior one can be very difficult. So if your hips are coming out to the side too much, you are more than welcome to have your feet on two different railroad tracks. So just open up the right leg a little bit more so that you have a bigger base of support. Okay, let's drive that left hip back, the right hip forward, square the chest and the hips towards the front of your mat. Take a nice deep breath. Let it go. Again, one more inhale. And exhale, let it go. Let's bring those hands down towards the floor. Step the left foot back and let's move through your vinyasa or go straight into your downward facing dog. Once we make it to our downward dog, take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Audible exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, eyes gaze forward, walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, come into your half lift. On your exhale, hands come down, bend those knees. Let's go back into our Utkatasana chair pose. You've been here before, so let's drive our hips a little bit lower towards the ground, framing the face, trying to lift that chest up. What we don't want to do is we don't want to round and we don't want to be looking down towards the floor. We want to look forward. Reach and bring the energy through those fingers. Sink those hips a little bit lower. From here, on your next exhale, you're going to come into an airplane arms. Bring those hands back behind you. Heart can lower down just a little bit. And then on your next inhale, come back to your chair pose. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, come back to your half lift, lengthen the spine. And on your exhale, hands come down, step or jump it back. And let's move through that vinyasa. High to low plank, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Lift that right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Let's open up the hip. And you're gonna drive that right knee into the chest, place the foot on the floor, ground down that back heel, and let's come back up to a warrior one. All right, so how can we improve this? Can we drop those hips a little bit lower? Can we relax those shoulders away from the ears? Can we soften our gaze? Really think about pressing in towards the knife edge of your back foot. So we don't want to be caving into your arch, but rather lifting up and out. Take a nice deep breath. And on your next exhale, hands come down towards the floor, right foot steps back, and either go straight into your downward dog or move through your vinyasa. Beautiful. From here, inhale that left leg nice and high. Exhale, knee to nose, and then let's plant that foot. Ground down that heel and come up to your warrior one. So let's find our stability. Let's find our grace. Beautiful job, Natalie. And great job, Carla. I see her breathing from here. Make sure that you are breathing throughout your practice and that you're not holding your breath, but allowing that energy to flow through your body. Take a nice deep breath, inhale. And on your exhale, hands come down. Let's step it back and move through your vinyasa. High to low. Inhale to your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's go into a child's pose. Bring those knees nice and wide, big toes touch. Allow those hips to come down and just settle in. Take a nice deep breath in. Audible exhale out. Again, one more time. Nice big inhale. And exhale, let it go. Beautiful job. We're gonna transition towards our seat. So when you're ready, we're gonna actually sneak in a little bit of core here. So we're gonna go into a boat pose. So couple options, okay? You can place those hands behind the knees just like Carla's gonna show us. And we're gonna lift our feet off the floor. Now, ideally, we wanna bring those shins about parallel towards the floor. You wanna think about lifting up out of the sternum as if you had a string attached to your sternum and someone's lifting you up, okay? Now, if you're good here, option or extra challenge is to extend those hands forward. Palms are facing up, eyes are gazing right in front of your feet. An extra challenge, if you want to take it, let's extend those legs nice and straight. Woo, let's hold it for 5, 4, you got this, Natalie. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Let's come back to our seats. All right, let's sink those hips just a little bit closer towards the front of our mat. Palms are gonna face up. Let's round the spine and we're gonna come all the way down towards the floor. Beautiful job. From here, we're gonna go into a bridge. So we're gonna bring those heels as close as we can to the glutes. The knees are about shoulder distance apart. Hands are right by our hips. Now from here, on your next inhale, you're gonna press those hips up towards the sky, finding a bridge. You wanna slightly tuck the pelvis under, squeeze the glutes. Weight should be heavy in those heels. Option here to grab for opposite hands behind your back, opening up the chest a little bit more. Hold it here. And on your next exhale, slowly release those hands. Slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes down last. Feel free to kind of windshield wipe those knees to just reset the spine. We'll do that one more time. So when you're ready, knees shoulder distance apart. On your next inhale, press those hips up towards the sky. Maybe grab for your hands. Shoot those hands towards the heels. Tuck the shoulders in. Open up the chest. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, release those hands and slowly lower down towards the floor. Beautiful job. Let's bring the right knee in towards the chest. Extend that left leg nice and long. Hip flexor stretch. You've made it to more of the recovery, more of the easy flow. So feel free to just close those eyes. You're gonna allow that right knee to fall over to the left as you gaze to the right. Your right hand can come down to the floor. And if you need a little bit of assistance and your knee is off the floor, you can also grab a block and place it on whatever level is comfortable for you. Just enjoy this beautiful spinal stretch. And when you're ready, slowly bring that knee back to center and let's switch sides. You're gonna hug the left knee in, hip flexor stretch. Really pressing that knee up. And when you're ready, left knee crosses over to the right. Eyes can gaze to the left. Allow your left hand to plant on the floor. Now we want to prioritize making sure that our shoulder stays on the mat so that we have proper alignment. So using a block or a prop, such as a pillow, can be very helpful in this pose. And when you're ready, let's slowly come back up. We'll go into a happy baby pose. So bring those knees in towards the chest, give it a nice tight squeeze. You're gonna open up those knees nice and wide. An option here to grab the thighs, or if you have that flexibility, let's grab for the soles of the feet. Stamp those feet towards the sky. And you can find stillness here, or if it feels good, you can rock your baby side to side. That should feel good on your low back. You can extend one leg and then extend the other, or maybe both legs straighten out. And when you're ready, let's hug those knees into the chest. Give it one final squeeze. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Get all the energy out of your body in this big, big hug. And when you're ready, slowly release down. Let's come into your Shavasana. Allow those legs to come out nice and wide. Palms are facing up. Take space on the mat and close those eyes. You made it. Just take a few moments to settle in. Notice how your body feels. Now you can stay here for as long as you'd like, but if you're ready to move on, let's inhale those hands above the head as if you're waking up for the first time. Really stretch nice and long, extend those fingers and toes. And whichever side is calling you, let's come into a fetal position, either on the right or left. You can bring those knees in towards the chest, use the arm as a pillow. And you can keep those eyes closed if you'd like. Slowly press up to an easy seated position. You're gonna cross those knees, sit nice and tall, hands come to heart center. And make sure that you're really sitting up nice and tall, okay? Crown of the head is lifted. Open up that chest. Bring those hands to heart center and just connecting to your breath. Take a nice deep inhale in. Open mouth, exhale. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much for spending these last few moments flowing together. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this yoga practice and I hope you feel really good in your body. My name is Jenny J. We have Natalie and Carla here on Zoom. We look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.